Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm the Quilting Witch. And I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about why I use the green mat, the back of the mat sometimes, rather than the lines. And I will square up some fabric and show you exactly how that works. Okay, you might ask, and many people ask, don't we square things up by the mat and laying it here? Well, you know, when you're doing a 1/2 inch, how are you going to do that? And in all reality, I never use my lines to square things up. So I take, this is an older mat that's used, it's got notches, and I've taken, flip it over, and it's like I've got a whole new mat. So that is why that's why you're just seeing the green here, and it makes it easier sometimes to be able to square up, and it works because you don't have all these lines, and because this is what you need to be looking at are the lines on the ruler to get your true square measurement. Just like this. So see, if I put this back here, this has been trimmed, okay? And here we're following this. And there you go. There's your true 2.5 inch square that can be used for a multitude of things. Scrap quilts, something you're doing with all blues. Okay, so we can cut one more. And it makes it easy that I am not having to look at all the lines. And I do love the Omni Grid rulers because they have this angle piece right here. They also mark the middle with a white. So with 4.5, it's 2 1/4, and it just makes it easy. But everybody gets used to their own, I will say that, but I do love Omni Grid rulers. And my Olfa cutter, I'm pretty good with that. All right, so what we've done is I have showed you why I use the back of the mat rather than the lines on the mat. So now we will introduce you, and I'll show you a few more examples of trimming a block, how to get it right. All right, so our next project that I'm going to show you how to do is square up a block. And what this is, we made a crazy quilt. And these were my fabrics. This was a bundle of fat quarters that I had that I finally parted with. I got a little too much of this color in here, but when I put it all together, you won't see that. So this measures about 15.5 maybe. Yeah, we're about 15.5. So I'm using my 16.5 square cutter, or square ruler, and I only want 14.5 because I've cut my other blocks, and 14.5 is about where we're at. Now, I want to be able to cut off on each side, and you'll notice that my 14.5 mark is here. That's how you want to do it. You can't cut all 4 sides in one position. You can't do it. It's dangerous because you might cut your arm. You just don't want to do that. So what I'm doing here is I'm lining this up. With this particular thing, I have nothing that is square inside with an angle that I line up. I will show you how to do that in a minute. So we're at 14.5. So I'm going to cut up this side. And I'm going to cut across. Then I'm going to flip the finished corner down to this corner. So now what I do is I'm going to take my 14.5 inch corner down here, and I'm going to take my little dotted line, matching it all the way, and then I'm going to trim again. This makes this a 14.5 inch block. Then we'll put these together, and I'll show you later what this turns out to be, but this is how we do this. I'm going to do one more for you so you can see it a second time. Sometimes with me, I have to, if I can see it, you see it once and it's like, okay, I got to catch that again. So I'm going to line this up again, and you'll see some of these are in just a little here and there. You just have to make sure, go all the way around and look to see once you're lined up. Throw away your scraps there. Okay, then line up my 14.5 down here, line it there, and it really lines up quite nicely. And then trim it. And nothing, I mean, when you're doing big, lay your whole hand down on here. Put some weight here on this with your elbow. It'll keep it from sliding. So now we have 2 of them. They're cut, they're ready to go. So now what I'm going to do here is I have some small ones. So we're going to get rid of the big ruler. We're going to pull out a little ruler. Now, what these were from is a quilt we did a couple years ago, and these were the corner pieces. And I'm so bad, I hate to throw away what I can use or think I might can use. And these were big enough that they will make a 2.5-inch square. So what I have here is this is an Omni grid ruler, and I really like these. So if you'll notice, there's an angle here. This is a 4.5-inch ruler. So, and I need this to be 2.5, okay? So what we've got is I'm going to put this angle on this angle. Here's my half. So I know right here is my 2.5-inch mark. So if I hold this really tight, and the thing about Omni grid rulers that I like are these little white things are a little bit of a gridded, and so they help. So flip it around again like we did the big ruler, the big square, and you're going to lay that down the middle, and you're going to trim. Okay. Now, like I said, these were from something else, so sometimes there's a few strings on them, and I like to get my strings off. So we're going to lay this. This was a little bit bigger, so you're going to lay that angle right down that angle line. Okay, do we have any questions? Just post down in the comments and I will check that. And there we go. So we'll use these in a border. There's many, many things you can use that for. You can make flying geese. You can make, you know, just border stuff that's really kind of fun.